All right, here we go. Cooper Weidenthaler with Davenport Athletics, joined by the head coach of the men's basketball program, Burt Paddock. Coach, super weird time right now. We've been in quarantine for coming on 3 months now. How are you and the family? How have you guys been spending your time during quarantine?
It's interesting because as a coach, you feel like you've got a family of my own three here, but also my 16 players that we have, and the kids that just graduated. So you're worried about a lot of people, and it stresses you out. You're checking in with people. I guess it's also a great thing to give you a chance to kind of interact with people, maybe a little bit more than what you might do in the summer when kids go home for the summer and whatnot. And from a family perspective, it's actually been a blessing. It's hard for me to say that. I would take that in the right context for me to spend a couple of months here, 24 hours a day, it seems like, with my wife and my two girls, and spend a great deal of time with them in some environments I'm not used to, helping them with math, helping them with spelling, helping them with things like that. It's kind of a big reward. I know coaches a lot of times always talk about the time that they spend away from families and some of the things that they miss out on. And it's just been a blessing in some ways. And again, take that the right way. It's been a blessing for me to be able to spend a great amount of time with my kids as they begin to get older. My one daughter's getting ready to be a junior in high school. And so those moments are few and far between here before too long. And so we want to make sure we make the most of those situations. And it's been great in some manners for us as well.
Absolutely. So, I mean, coaching wise, from a coaching perspective, obviously very limited in what you can do. What have you still been able to do with your program in this time?
Well, more than anything, it's been a good time for us to recruit. I know my assistant coaches have done a phenomenal job of locating kids and identifying players and being able to spend probably more time than usual. It's funny. I actually told some people I think that we might get more done when we're away from the office than when when we're at the office, just from the simple standpoint of you don't have people coming in and interrupting or interrupting your normal course of the day. And now all of a sudden you got so much time to yourself where you can sit down at your computer and you can contact high school coaches, junior college coaches, transfer kids coaches, and make sure you're doing probably more background checks and identifying characteristics about kids and potential recruits than you ever did before, maybe. And so, in some ways, again, there's been some really good things about it. On the flip side of it, been a trying time from the standpoint you don't get to look your kids in the face and your current kids that are in your program. You don't get to visit with them and sit down and watch the workouts and in the spring and all that stuff, and then help them get into summer school and be there for classes every day. And, just being around them, even when you can't work out the players in the summer, just being able to be around them, kind of have an idea of what they're doing, what they're going through, and being there for them. It's just a way different way. Now it's got to be through Google Hangouts and Zoom calls and texting a million times a day. I'm probably wearing our guys out. They're probably tired of hearing from me. Just trying to stay connected as you possibly can to your players to let them know that you're here for them. And at first it was just the virus. It was such a terrible thing. And you were checking on kids and their families. We had a kid from Italy that couldn't go home on our team, and he was around it, yet we couldn't go be with him. And he was stuck in the dorm, and you just felt so bad for him. And luckily Scott got to go home a week or two ago and finally get to see his family. And that was a blessing for him. And that was great. Now all of a sudden you have just a horrible situation that happened in Minnesota, and now all these different things that are occurring across the United States. And I'm such a guy that wants to be hands-on, and I won't say controlling, but you want to be in control of what's going on, and you just feel like you're not. You want to have an answer for your players. You want to have an answer for your kids. You want to tell them what's right. You want to tell them what's wrong. You want to tell them how we're going to fix things. And man, I wish nothing more than I wish somebody knew how to fix this and just like that, but it's not going to happen just like that. And hopefully we'll continue to have conversation, and hopefully we'll continue to have protests in a manner in which are productive and not just destructive. And just a lot of things going on right now. And when you're not around your players, it really makes you feel bad, because you want to surround them and hug them and let them know everything's going to be okay. And when you're 4 or 5 hours away from some guys, may not come across that way to some of them just because you're not there every day.
Yeah. So you mentioned recruiting. You've got 3 kids coming to Davenport from high school. They'll join the team here this fall. Jeff Carrier, Braxton Miller, and James Felton. We put out a release about those kids. It was a few weeks ago, but just talk about those kids and how you were able to find them and get them on your program.
Well, it's an interesting thing as you go into recruiting. You try to identify certain needs and wants and different things like that. And again, my assistant coaches, I've got the best there is. Now, other coaches will say, well, that's not fair. My guys are the best. You might have great ones, but I really appreciate what my coaches do for me and our program and our kids especially. And these three kids, I really feel good about them as basketball players, but more so off the court. We got three of the most high character kids you could ever want to find. Jeff Carrier is a 6'7" kid from Mason County Central that his accolades speak for themselves. A big time scorer, almost 1,500 points, almost 1,000 rebounds. Led his school in both of those categories during his time at Mason County. Tremendous player, but just an upstanding kid, very well spoken, bright eyed, bushy. He's a kid who's going to come and practice hard every day and have a great attitude. And you can't put enough stock into that. There's so many measurables with people wanting, their length and their wingspan and how high can they jump. And, it's so important to have those things. But on the flip side of it, it's important to have great people. And we've hit a home run with his entire class. Braxton Miller's a guard from Indiana who I've actually known his family for a long time. His dad went to the same college as me and my wife. So we've known them. Just a tremendous group of people, great family. His grandfather plays a huge role in everything that he does and is really supportive with him and his grandmother as well. And another kid that I know is going to come in here, have a great attitude, do great in school, and be a kid that we can count on every day to be a big-time competitor. And, he's a great shooter. And with them moving the three-point line back in a year from now, you can't have enough great shooters. Being able to bring him into the program just adds another one of those weapons that can really shoot the ball from distance. Hopefully can help contribute to our team down the road. The last kid I'll talk about it, not the last guy, but of the high school group, James Felton from Lansing Christian, about an hour and 15 minutes away. Another great family. They're incredibly supportive of him, a tremendous student. Who was an honorable mention academic All-State, well, big, on the All-State team, second team All-State. So really excited about him. He's a 6'10" kid. We haven't recruited a lot of size like that in terms of true centers. And he's a 6'10" kid who can really run and change ends and jumps out of the gym at the AAU national tournament. He was in the finals of the dunk contest. So just a tremendous athlete, 6'10", with a lot of raw skills that I feel like when we get to work with him, he's going to have a huge impact in our program. But getting back to it, they're all going to be good players. Everybody that recruits kids right now, all those kids are good players. But the thing I'm probably more excited about is the quality of people we've brought in, and really excited to get to be around those kids for the next 4 to 5 years. Along with the recruiting part, and you didn't bring him up, but Jairus Stevens is a transfer kid. Tremendous player, averaged 17 points, almost 7 rebounds a game last year at another Division II school. Decided he wanted to change his scenery for whatever reason that was. I've known his family through interactions with other coaches in the past. His dad is the second all-time leading scorer in the history of Iowa State. That tells you a little bit about their family and their lineage and their basketball prowess. And I think he's going to have a huge impact on our team. And he'll come in here and fight for a lot of minutes right away. Like I said, we love to win. I don't know why you would play sports, and that's why he wanted to be in a program where he had an opportunity to win a championship. We promised him we would surround him with the best players and the best people we possibly can to try to make that happen last year.
Absolutely. Yeah, you took my last question out of asking about Jairus, but
I got so excited about him, I took it away. Sorry about that.
That's right. Yeah, no, 3 high school players, and then Jairus, a legit Division II scorer. So he'll be a sit one and then play one, right? Because he's coming from Division II.
Yeah, he actually started. This will be his 3rd school. He actually started with one of our best players, Chris Rollins. They're really good friends. Sometimes it's you try to do a good job in recruiting, but sometimes your best recruiters are sometimes your own players. And they've had a relationship for a long time, dating back to when they started college at IPFW. It's now PFW. I'm dating my man. We're getting old here, changing colleges' names on us already. But PFW, Division I school in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Both started there. Didn't work out for whatever reason. They both decided to go different ways, and they've always remained friends. And when he decided that the last school he was at wasn't where he wanted to finish up, Chris called us immediately and was fired up about him. And obviously, when some of your best players speak highly of other kids, you really you listen to that and you go and recruit those kids. It's funny. We try to reach out to as many people as we can. When you get kids that transfer, sometimes you're trying to find out, are they going to fit with your program? Yeah, we couldn't find anybody who'd say anything bad about the kid. Just a great kid, great attitude, really good student, and put up huge numbers last year. And hopefully Again, the numbers will come. It's a team concept here with us. He knows that. Everybody knows that. But man, the kid just got a ton of talent. We look forward to putting him on the floor and mix with our guys the year after next.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, that's super simple. Nothing too complex for you for questions. But thanks for joining me. Take care of yourself, and hopefully we can be back in the office soon and just go about things in a normal way.
Yeah, Coop. I guess if I could say anything, just it's funny. I've tried to reach out to some of the assistant or head coaches within our department. It's hard to reach out to everybody. I've reached out to some professors and just different people that have an influence on our program. But just everybody try to stay positive during this time, whether it's about the virus or the George Floyd thing, just a horrible tragedy. But let's try to make good out of all this stuff, whether it be with your family or trying to make a difference in the world. And we'll all be together soon, and hopefully we can cheer on some wins for the DU athletics program here real soon. Thanks, Coop.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Have a good day.